What's going on, you chicken strips, Nutella minions? This is Linux MLG, and I still haven't really chose which one my army is, the chicken strip army or the Nutella minions. I guess if you like Nutella, you could be a minion. If you like chicken, you could be a strip. Or I guess if you like both, you could be Chictella or maybe Nuticken. It's really up to you at this point. I don't make the calls. Here is a gameplay Call of Duty Ghosts, as you know. It's on Strike Zone, as you see as well. Like, I don't know, actually, I don't know why anyone ever says that. It's like, if people come to your video, it's probably because they know that your gameplays are, COD, Halo, NBA, 2K, whatever it is. And I don't know, it just seems like me and some others just always, here's Call of Duty, like, you already know that, but whatever. Anyways, this is a 3v3 GB. At the end, I combined for a total of 22 and 14 with 6 caps, so I did good. I didn't do the best on the team, but it was overall good. And my Sony Vegas does some things. Sometimes I try to import videos, and it only brings up the audio. So my really good gameplays, it's like the ones I really want, are always bad, and then the ones that I'm like don't want or I'm like whatever, then they're fine and I could do it. I mean, there's a few blitzes on Warhawk I could do that are like good, but I just posted that last video, so I don't want to do it this video as well. But anyways, you guys don't want to hear me talk at all. You guys want to hear about everything that's going on. Now, this is kind of off the dome. Sorry about that little skip. There was just something that was happening when I was recording, so I had to stop and it started. So anyways, this is kind of off the dome, as I was saying. I didn't, look it up. I'll put it together because I want to get it out to you as fast as possible. So I'm literally going to be looking at everyone's tweets, seeing what they wrote and whatnot. But first I want to start off with, I know my last video kind of talked about how I didn't respect OpTic as much, right? After what's been going on, and 50-50, or not really, it was more like 33-33 neutral. People agreed, people disagreed. That always happens on opinions. There's always people that disagree, always people that agree, people that are neutral about it. But I was, saying that I disrespected OpTic, but I will say, kind of talking about NaDeSHoT a lot. He was in the spotlight, but he wasn't the only one I was trying to talk about. And what I'm trying to get to is, right now, when OpTic, if you don't know now, then you literally don't follow competitive, but Scump left OpTic. He wasn't happy with it. He actually wanted to make a second team with OpTic, but apparently Hex said no. And so that built up some tension in between them. And, it's kind of, I feel bad for NaDeShot because he's getting blamed for everything. Like, he might not say that he's not feeling good about it, he might not tweet about it, but if you were in NaDeShot's spot and people on your team, like especially like Scumpii, were bashing you and literally throwing you under the bus, you would feel bad about it. And I feel bad about it for NaDeShot because I don't think he's a bad person. I think he's human. And, when I was talking about him, he said something disrespectful that I thought was disrespectful, and so I commented on it. But everyone says disrespectful things at certain times. You're human. If you are human, you can't stop that. It happens. So, anyways, I want to get into some of the tweets. First, I'm going to get into the tweets that Scump and Hex said. So, from all the conversations that I will be reading, tweets that I will be reading, there's two sides to it, and sometimes I side with Scump and sometimes I side with the other. And in this case, Scump was right, but Hex was right. I was neutral on this. So anyways, Hex made a tweet. He said, hashtag loyalty, an easy word to pronounce, a hard attribute to embody. Now, if you really need me to break it down for you, it really means that it's really hard people in today to find loyal people, to find loyal friends, loyal teammates, whatever it is. It's really hard to find. And Scumpii said, loyalty, question mark, I was on OpTic for 2 years and I'd still be there if it wasn't for Nade. Now this is what I'm saying, throwing Nade on the bus. Now, regardless if you were off because of Nade, I don't think you should be tweeting bashing Nade on Twitter. That's not fair. You have a huge following. A lot of people are going to see it. A lot of people are going to think badly of it. Of course, NaDeShot has the bigger fan base out of anyone in COD, so he's gonna get the most love, but from the kids and from the more mature people, they might see it and go, or I guess you can't say they're really mature, but from the understanding people, they're gonna go, oh well, obviously something Nate did something wrong and he's a bad teammate, so that's not good. Now, I don't think that's right, but all these people are commenting on it. All right, hold on, I gotta get to Hex's next tweet. Alright, well, Hex deleted his tweet, and I'm sure, someone like Keemstar probably has it. I kind of forgot what he said. But I know it was somewhere on the guideline saying that, like, you would be on the team still if I didn't decline your second team, like, your second OpTic team offer. And Scumpii said, well, there you go, you just contradicted what you're saying because you're calling me unloyal, but yet you declined me staying on the team, just making a second one. So that's on the lines, and I'm on both sides. Now, I can feel Scump's anger, from, like I said last video. If you didn't see it, go check it out. How they've been doing, and how they've been super unprepared all the time, and they just seem to not do anything about it. I can see why you get angry, and the reason why I think this is so much more hyped is because it's Scumpii, right? And it's OpTic. One of the biggest names, not if not the second biggest name in Call of Duty, and then OpTic, the biggest name team in Call of Duty. Um, going through this huge roster change, and that's what kind of gets me, here and then here, let's just read on what Scumpii says. He says, pretty insane how one player in a team house can corrupt championship team and change motives. Good luck to OpTic, but I was very unhappy. So he's talking about the one player's NaDeSHoT. He actually posted a picture of them in an interview at COD Champs, and everyone's face is crossed out except NaDeShot's and Hex's. Both of their faces are like just sitting there and everything. And next, he retweeted something I thought. Rambo, Merc, JCat, Big T, and Scump all gone because of one person. Again, because of NaDeShot. Now you see how they're all bashing NaDeShot. He continues to say, a lot of built up frustration. I'm gonna hook in my setup and start the grindage. Then he starts getting into it with JCap. Because, okay, so JCap said, let me get to his tweets now. Oh shit, now there's one. Now, like, see, things keep going on here. Let me get the one where he's talking over here. So, he was messing around with NaDeShot, not in a mean way. He was joking about it, kind of making fun of Scump. JCap was, and he said, yo, man, seriously, though, think about how good we would be if I joined Cole. Hashtag things a great teammate says. So he's bashing Scumpii there, saying that Scumpii said that stuff. Then Scump said, you sketched for OpTic mid-tournament, LMAO, stop. And then Jordan said, don't lie to people. It's funny because almost all your past teammates will say you're the worst teammate they've had. And then continuing on, Jay Cannon comes in, like, worry about your own teams, don't worry about this and that. And now there's another one. What happened? And then, okay, so yeah, so after he said you're the worst teammate they've had, Scump fires back. He said, hard to be a good teammate when there is hatred between the players. And then JCap says, I can't even disagree with that, but I felt like you were the one who always made everything a competition. And so that's kind of where that led. NaDeShot, he does his thing. He has his fan base, so he has to keep, keep a lot of his things closed in. He can't release a lot of information or really a lot of things of how he feels, because he's the most sponsored player. He's got all these sponsorships he's got to look good for, all these fans that he doesn't want to upset. He does go in, however, and starts tweeting a little bit, but not going too far, and this is what he says. Welcome to OpTic Gaming, Clayster. Of course, if you didn't know that, Clayster's on OpTic now. Can't wait to play with a team dedicated to winning. And then he said, honestly, I can't wait to start grinding with Clayster and Ricky. I've never been more dedicated and hungry. And like my last video, I'm saying he says things like this all the time. Every time, if you go back and if you can find his tweets, every time he picks up a new teammate before tournament, he always says how confident he is and how much they're gonna grind with this new teammate and they're gonna be the best. That's the thing. He needs to stop. He doesn't need to stop. He actually has to act on what he tweets. That's the only thing with NaDeShot that I really have a problem with, because I don't have a problem with him. I like him. Alright, next. Ricky, Clayster, and I will be announcing our fourth in the next couple days. No roster decisions, whatever, that has nothing to do with it. And then he said, wasn't going to comment on any of this, and I still don't want to, but things are never as they seem, I suppose. Good luck to Envy in 2014. He actually said something else also. Don't remember exactly what it was, but I guess he deleted it. And you know, you would think, though, a lot of well, if you want me to finish off who was tweeting, pretty much every pro's tweeting at OpTic. You know what's going on. Parasite apologized to Hex for, I guess, some predicament they had before. You know, now OpTic has really opened up to a bunch of people. You know, roster changes are still to come. But, continuing on with that, it kind of makes me like think like on this path where people just keep going where they get dropped or they leave and it's for a specific reason and they're frustrated so they tweet out something and then they delete it. Why don't you just wait till your frustration is gone, and if you're still feeling like you need to say it, then say it. But if you feel like you're just too angry, you're probably gonna end up deleting it later. So either don't tweet it if you're going to delete it later. One, that just looks bad on you, because if you're talking crap and then you delete a tweet, or if someone's talking crap to you and you delete yours, you just look dumb. So, you know, think before you speak, and again, like, keep some things to yourself. Like, I think it was really disrespectful individually of Scump to bash Nate so much. And he made an assumption too. He made it sound like Big Timer left or retired because of NaDeShot. I don't know how true that is. I don't know what they said, but again, keep that stuff to yourself. The outside people don't need to hear about that. You don't need to worry about that stuff or letting other people know about that stuff. If there's a problem with Nate, that there's a problem with them, but that keep it to yourself. Like I keep saying, I don't know why I keep saying it. You heard me say it 15 times, but just if there's a problem with him, then you leave and you make your own decisions. No one else has to know the exact reason. You could say you were unhappy with OpTic, but don't say, "Oh, Nate, if it wasn't for Nate, I'd still be on the team." You know, that's kind of bad. But anyways, I hope you enjoy the commentary. Again, I can't wait to see you Natikins or your Chictellas next time. Peace out, guys.